We once again have more news on the Dallas Cowboys. Dante Fowler is back with the Dallas Cowboys as he is signing a one-year deal worth up to $8 million. We'll get into what the up to might actually mean, depending on what the incentives are and stuff. But that's going to put Dante Fowler in terms of annual value per year as one of the biggest, technically still outside free agent contracts the Cowboys have given in about a decade, which with the salary cap going up should have happened before this, but by Cowboys standards, this is, I guess, actually would be selectively aggressive. We'll break this down in depth on today's show. We will still have more videos for you here on the Cowboys Report all off-season, all free agency long. It has been a very busy and a very active Cowboys free agency. Even by, I think, average standards, but certainly by the Cowboys standards, this has been one of their busiest ones. We've had videos for you all off-season long. That's not going to go anywhere. Hit that sub button for me right now. Broken by, I think NFL Network had a bunch of different reports on that one. One-year deal up to $8 million. I would not be shocked if they put a void year on this deal. That even for a one-year contract, that could certainly be in the cards. I do want to see how the contract is actually structured, what the incentives are, what the guarantees are, everything. With 10.5 coming off 10.5 sacks season, getting to not likely to be earned incentives actually is a little bit more complicated for the Cowboys. So, maybe this does come in at a little bit closer to $8 million for 1 year than some of the other previous years have been. But with the way the salary cap has gone up, when the Cowboys had done that 1 year, $3 million deal before for Dante Fowler, even coming off a 6-sack season, that's not that dissimilar of a number this time around. Fowler, for the second time in his career, we remember he's had a long NFL career. It's going to be his 10th season. He still was only just now turning 30, or just now turned 30. I think he turns 31 in August or something. This is one of his more productive campaigns. He had started 7 games, which he wasn't only a starter in Dallas, but he was a part-time starter with the Commanders. 10.5 sacks this past year, 14 TFLs. Both numbers were the second highest over the course of his NFL career. And we'll go into more depth on this here in a little bit. But I think in particular with your edge rushing room, by adding Dante Fowler to this group, I think you have to feel a lot more confident in it than you did even going into this. There's a lot more options, a lot more pieces for this Cowboys team to have as a pass rushing rotation that should, we can argue if it's better than Tank Lawrence, Chauncey Golston or not, but I definitely think you can at least put a team out there, put a rotation out there, and not be like, oh God, this is terrible. So do you like bringing back Dante Fowler? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's video. It is the pinned comment on today's show, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. Y for yes, N for no. I want to go into Dante Fowler here a little bit more in depth. He's still not a great run stopper, but I think between the combination of, in theory, Marshawn Kneeland and Peyton Turner, and you can rotate in some Solomon Thomas, I think you'll be fine at the edge rushing group. But I think in terms of pressures, of pass rush ability, this is noteworthy. He's coming off a 50 pressure season. Now his snap count went way up than what it was in Dallas, so the efficiency did drop a little bit there. But he had double-digit sacks for the first time in a really long time. I think Dante Fowler is still I think he can still be a good 3. And let's say it's 1-8 or whether it's 1-6, 1-7, whatever the exact details end up turning out to, which we probably won't know for another day or two. That's good value. I don't want to chase sacks because chasing sacks can be a little bit dicey of that potential, but this is one of your more impactful potential additions. Even if his sacks dip to 7 or 6, that still is valuable. I mean, if you want to go sack per $1 million per year, that's still pretty good value there. So I do like this signing. I am surprised that they went as high as they did, potentially as high as they did, I should say, for Dante Fowler. But I think it's a logical move. I wanted another pass rusher. You're going to have to add a receiver some way since they apparently aren't going to go to Cooper Kupp. You're going to want a corner. This, I think, kind of, for the most part, means unless the value is too good, you don't have to take one in the NFL draft. And we'll go into to more in depth here in a little bit. But I think what this room looks like right now. But adding Dante Fowler, coming back home, I was going to do the top free agents left video in like 20 minutes, but I'm going to delay that one now and put it out probably Saturday because I have to cut and edit the whole damn thing because I had Dante Fowler plus other edges. Edges don't make any sense anymore. That's not the route they're going to go down. But I like it. I like adding Dante Fowler. It's a little bit more aggressive than what they've done in the past. And Fowler has pretty consistently put up good sack production. 11.5 was only 3 in Atlanta, 4.5, but 6, 4, 10.5. I wouldn't presume he's gonna get to 10.5, but over the course of a 17-game season, he's averaged like 6.5 sacks per season. So I think that's a very realistic number to presume. 6.5 sacks and like 8 TFLs and a bunch of pressures. Sweet, that's valuable. I didn't have an actually proven pass rusher opposite Micah Parsons until this move. Now I have one. Now I will get into the depth chart in terms of the room right now for this edge rushing group, but I want you to grade the signing of Dante Fowler. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. How do you feel about the addition of Dante Fowler? A, B, C, D, or F. Grade that move for me right now. This defensive end room looks like right now. And I think this kind of really indicates that you will see Solomon Thomas play. I think he can still kick out wide, but probably plays more 3 technique than anything else. But your edge rushing room right now is Sam Williams, obviously behind Micah Parsons. Sam Williams, Peyton Turner, Marshawn Kneeland, now Dante Fowler. You have some inside-outside flex in Solomon Thomas. That's not a superstar room. And, it is worth mentioning all but 2 of those guys. In fact, only one of them technically is under contract next year in Marshawn Kneeland because Turner and Williams and Micah and now Dante Fowler are all on 1-year contracts because it's the 5th-year option for Micah. That should change by training camp that Micah will be on a long-term deal too. But that's that room. I can make that work. I can live with that crew. I can plug those guys in. It's not elite. It's not a superstar. It's not the Giants Super Bowl winning front. But I can make that work. That edge rushing room, I think I've got 5 playable football players. I've got a superstar with 1. I've got guys that I've seen can be a rotational, situational, piece. I'm hoping that Marshawn Kneeland takes a step forward as a run defender. I can kick Solomon Thomas out wide, who is on a 2-year deal. I can rotate in Peyton Turner. I can, fingers crossed, Sam Williams has a big-time breakout season. I think that edge rushing room, in terms of like filling your need, you've probably been able to do. Doesn't mean you don't have to draft an edge, but, I don't view it as a massive gaping hole roster need the same way I view corner and running back and wide receiver right now for the Cowboys. So it is a bigger move than what the Dallas Cowboys normally do, and I do not consider that a issue at all. In fact, I wouldn't be overly shocked if the money that they'd kind of allocated to try to give Tank Lawrence, like around $8 million, is mostly going to Dante Fowler in this particular case. So by Cowboys standards, $8 million is a crazy amount of money. Like that's massive. That's if it does end up being $8 million, that would be the largest average per year contract the Cowboys have given out in over 10 years. Which is a crazy statement because that's 10 years ago and the salary cap has skyrocketed since then. But I like it. You're adding a guy that can contribute. I made the comment on our grades like, where's your actual impact? Dante Fowler has actual impact because you can look up and down this edge rushing room and go, yeah, there's like a sack from last year that's not named Micah Parsons. Like there wasn't nearly enough proven production, even though Sam Williams had sacks previously and Peyton Turner is, a former first-round pick. I am a fan of this move. I like this move. For me, this is, I don't want to see the nitty-gritty details, but I have a tough time going below a B for this one because it's the Cowboys actually getting some noteworthy impact pieces. So more news to come, more signings, everything else. If you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that sub button for more free Cowboys YouTube videos.